children. This is Rajesh Rao, math faculty. Welcome back to the third session of real numbers. In this session, we will discuss the first exercise of 7th main and 8th main questions along with Q dash means irrational numbers. Already I explained in first session. Irrational numbers representing on number line, successive magnification method, and finally know about pi. These topics we can discuss in this session. So first exercise 7th main 8th main questions are how to change the decimal numbers into a fractional form, that means p by q form. So already I discussed about rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational numbers are terminating decimals and non-terminating recurring decimals. In that non-terminating recurring decimals, there are two types. Those are pure recurring and mixed recurring. Pure recurring and mixed recurring. So pure recurring, that means see here 0.36 bar. That means whatever the digits are there in the decimal part, the whole digits are repeated. Means all the digits are repeated in the decimal part. Those are called pure recurring decimals. 3.762 recurring and 8.99 is recurring. Means a decimal part. In a decimal part, all digits are repeated. Then that case, that type of decimal is called pure recurring decimal. What about mixed recurring? Mixed recurring example I am giving. So 0.976. In the decimal part, some of the digits are repeated, some of the digits are not repeated. So those type of decimals are called mixed recurring. 8.927. 27 is recurring here. 9.3264. So only 64 is recurring here. So these are mixed recurring decimals and these are pure recurring decimals. Pure recurring and mixed recurring. So these type of decimals, how to change into a fractional form. Already we discussed one of the method, and one more method I will explain here. How to change the pure recurring decimals. That is very easy. Pure recurring decimals. I am taking the example of 0.66 bar. One of the method I explained in the first session, let x equal to 0.6666. One digit is repeating, that's why multiply both sides with 10. That method I used already in the first session. Another method is, so see here, numerator and denominator. Numerator and denominator is there in the fraction. So whatever the digits are repeating, you can write as it is digits in the numerator. Whatever the digits are repeating, write as it is digits in the write all the digits in the numerator. And what about denominator? How many digits are repeating? Those many nines you can write. So this is here one digit is repeating. That's why I am writing only 1 9. So do the cancellation. 3 2s are 3 3s are 3 2s are 3 3s are. So that is 0.6 bar. So finally it changed into the form of p by q. This is the final answer. If you do the same method whatever we discussed in the first session, you will get the same answer. Let us take one more example, that is 0.45. 45 is recurring. Right, as it is 45 by 2 digits are recurring, means 99. 45 by 99. Is there any cancellation, means reducible form? Both will go in 3 table. 3 15 jar, 3 33 jar. Finally, you'll get 15 by 33. Okay. So like this you can do. That is for pure recurring decimals. What about mixed recurring decimals? So I will give one more example for mixed recurring decimals. Mixed recurring decimals means, see there, for numerator, I am taking one of the example for mixed recurring decimal is 0.36 bar. 0.36 per. This is mixed recurring decimal. For this mixed recurring decimal, how to change into P by Q form? Already we know that method. This is another method. So first write the numerator. In the numerator, what we have to do? In the numerator, what we have to do? Subtract the recurring, means non-recurring digits from the total. That means, see here, subtract the number formed by the non-recurring digits from the number formed by the all digits up to end point of the period. End point of the period. Period and periodicity. So see here, 0.982. So here for this question, period is 82 and periodicity is 2. What about period and what about the periodicity? What about the periodicity? Period means what are the digits are repeating, those digits you should write, that is period. Periodicity, how many digits are repeating? 2 digits are repeating, 8 and 2. That's why periodicity 2. For one more question, one more example, 4.8329. Period is 8329 and the periodicity is 4. Periodicity is 4. So when you are doing the mixed recurring decimal, subtract the number formed by the non-recurring digits. Subtract the number formed by the non-recurring digits. So what are the non-recurring digits here? Non-recurring digit is 3. Non-recurring digit is 3. You have to subtract non-recurring digit along with total digit. That means you have to subtract non-recurring digit. Non-recurring digit is 3 from the total number by in the denominator. What you have to do? Denominator, right? As many 9s are there in the digit in the period. As many 9s are there in the digits in the period. Period means only period is 1. That's why 19 you can write. That's why 19 you can write. So and followed by the as many zeros, there are non-recurring digits. There are non-recurring digits is 1. That's why 10. Once again I am explaining here. See there, you have to subtract the number of non-recurring digits. Number of non-recurring digits means only 1, that you have to subtract. Okay, that number you have to subtract from what? From total digits. That means 36. Okay, by denominator. What you have to write in the denominator? In the denominator, we should write a number of recurring digits. Number of recurring digits are there. Those many 9s you have to write. Those many 9s you have to write. That only one digit is repeating. That's why I wrote only 1. Non-recurring digits are how many? Only 1. That's why I wrote 10. Okay. So 36. That means 33 by 90. 3 1s are 3 1s are 3 30s are 11 by 30. That is P by Q form. That is P by Q form. One more example if you take, then you can understand easily. Then 0.53. 0. Okay, already same question, that is 0.227. 0.227. 0.227. Yes. So subtract non-recurring digit. Non-recurring digit is what? 2. Subtract non-recurring digit. That is non-recurring digit is 2. You have to subtract non-recurring digit from total the digits. So 227 by number of non-recurring digits are there 2. That's why you should write 2 9s followed by recurring digits. Recurring digits are 2. That's why you should write 2 9s followed by number of non-recurring digits only 1. That's why you should write 10. So 227 minus 2 means 225 by 990. So this is not a reducible form. Do the simplification. Both will go in 5 table. 5 4s are 20, 5 5s are 5 1s are 5, 5 9s are 45, 5 8s are 45 by 198. 45 by, if you apply the same method that whatever discussed in the first session, you will get the same answer. One more example I will explain there. That is here it will cancel in 9 table. 9 5s are 9 2s are 18, 9 2s are 5 by 22 is the final form. Okay, So one more example let us take. So that is 0.2104. 0.2104. For recurring digit is 104. 104. See this one. So here same. Subtract the non-recurring digit, that is 2. You should subtract from where? 2104. 2104 by. So how many digits are repeating here? 3 digits. That's why 3 nines. Should write non-repeating digits only 1 digit. That's why followed by 10. So this is a 2102 by 990. Do the cancellation. That is the reducible form is the final P by Q form. Okay. Sometimes these type of questions are there in your textbook. Apply the same method in your textbook. Definitely you'll get the same answer. Sometimes we'll get 3.52. So whatever discussed before questions, the integer part is always 0. But now my question is 3.52, 2 bar they give. 3.52 for this. In the before questions already I said for each and every example I explained with a 0 point. But here I am taking 3 point. What you have to do for this question? So this type of question, same answer. 3 first we should change into 3 plus 0.52 bar. So 3 plus, again the same method. We got here the before question model examples. So we have to subtract 5. We have to subtract 5 from where? Total number is 52. By, why we are subtracting 5 here? Non-recurring digit only we have to subtract from the total digits. By, how many digits are repeating? Only 1 digit. That's why 19. Non-repeating digits are only 1. That's followed by 10. 3 plus 47 by 90. 3 plus 47 by 90. 3 plus 47 by 90 means this is 347 by 90. Mixed fraction, change into improper fraction, that is 270. 270 and 47 means 7. 317 by 90. 317 by 90. This is a P by Q form of a mixed recurring decimals. Mixed recurring decimals. In this way you can do the solutions of first exercise of 7th main and 8th main questions. Okay, hope you understand this method. We'll go for representing irrational numbers on the number line. As we discussed in the previous session, already I explained root 2 question how to represent on the number line. Root 2 means irrational numbers. So how to represent on the number line? Draw a number line. 0, 1, 2, 3. So take 1 unit and one more 1 unit you can take. Draw the perpendicular line. One more 1 unit from, this is O. This is marking as O. This is 0 here and A, and this is B. OA 1 unit and OB also 1 unit, which is perpendicular to given number line. Join OB. Join OB. So both are 1 unit. 1 unit means if you apply Pythagoras theorem, OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. So 1 square plus 1 square, that is 1 plus 1 equal to 2. OB square equal to 2. Then OB distance equal to root 2. So take the compass. Already explained compass we need for this type of questions. Place the compass at O and take the radius of OB. Draw an arc like this. Wherever the arc intersecting the number line, that point is root 2. Because of that, if you draw an arc, which is the part, arc is a part of a circle. Circle means this is the radius and this is also radius. So the distance is the total distance from here. That is I am taking as B dash root 2. OB dash distance equal to root 2 on number line. So for root 3 also same. Root 3 means from here onwards, place the protractor. Place the protractor and draw a perpendicular line and mark it as 1 unit again. So if you place the protractor here, then you can mark the line like this. that means perpendicular line, and again mark it as 1 unit. I'm erasing that one. This is 1 unit. Again join this one. If it is perpendicular means again one more right angle, that is OBC. OBC. So root 2 and 1. Again apply the Pythagoras theorem. OC square equal to OB square plus BC square. So OB square is root 2 whole square plus 1 square. 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. OC square equal to 3. OC equal to root 3. This is root 3. This is root 3. Like this we can find root 3. So again place the compass at O. Draw one more arc. Definitely it will intersect at some point, that is I'm marking as C dash. The distance from there onwards, this is a root 2. From there onwards, this is a root 3. Root 3. Again, the arc means OC distance is root 3. OC dash distance. OC dash distance. That is also root 3. That is marking the number line root 3. Marking the number line root 3 on the number line. Okay. So similarly, you can extend like that. If you extend the diagram like this, then you will get the spider web. Spider web. Look like a spider web. See how it look like B. O, A, 1 unit, perpendicular line, 1 unit, root 2, again perpendicular line, 1 unit, this is root 3, again perpendicular line, one unit only I'm taking, 1 unit, join here, this is root 4, that means 2 root 4, again perpendicular line, 1 unit, if you join you will get root 5, again perpendicular line, 1 unit, if you join here root 6, this is root 5 for this, root 6, again perpendicular line, 1 unit, if you join root 7, again perpendicular line, and 1 unit, this is also, you join root 8. So identify here, if you join 1 unit means if you join a perpendicular line 1 unit, definitely the line should like not curved like a web. What type of web? Spider web. Spider web. Already they gave this type of activity in your textbook. Better to try this activity in your white paper. Definitely you will get the spider web. Okay. So now how to find root 5 on the number line? Root 2 we saw already. 1 unit you have to take. Root 3 means definitely you need to find root 2 plus 1, and root 4 means already that is 2. 2 means 2 units if you take, not 2 units. To get root 4, definitely we need to find root 2 and root 3. Definitely we need to find root 2 and root 3, then only you will get root 4. Okay. So what means root 3 whole square plus 1, not whole square, whole square you can take. I'm giving hint here. Okay. This is an x-axis till here 1 unit, 1 unit. On x-axis means number line 1 unit, perpendicular line 1 unit. Okay. To find the root 3, definitely you need to find root 2 value. To find root 4, you need to find root 2 and root 3 only, then only you will get root 4 value. But what about root 5? To find root 5, no need to find root 2, root 3, root 4 values. Directly on x-axis means on the number line you can take 2 units. Okay, when you apply Pythagoras theorem, then 2 square plus 1 square, then you will get 5 here. But any means any natural numbers whole square plus another natural number whole square, we do not get 4 there. To get 5, definitely these two natural numbers, if you take a whole sum of the squares, definitely you'll get 5. That's why I'm taking 2 square plus 1 square. 2 square plus 1 square. That means this is on x-axis, means a number line. See there, 0, a, that is 2 units. From here onwards, 1 unit. Join this one. So again apply Pythagoras theorem. OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. OB square equal to OA square means 2 square plus 1 square. OB square equal to 4 plus 1. OB equal to 5. OB square, OB equal to root 5. If you got root 5, immediately you can take the radius of OB as root 5 and draw an arc wherever the arc is intersecting the number line. There you can mark root 5 on the number line. That is the method to find the number line. Okay. So now to find, what about root 6? To find root 6, definitely you should start from root 5 onwards. To find root 7 also. To find root 7 also, you need to find first root 5 and root 6. After that, getting to find root 6, again you can make perpendicular 1 unit, join here, then this is root 6. Then this is root 6. To get root 7, again 1 more unit, perpendicular, and join here, this is root 7. Okay. To get root 6 and root 7, definitely you need to start from root 5 onwards. What about root 8? To find root 3 and root 4, you need to find root 2. To find root 6 and root 7, you can start from root 5 onwards. Okay. What about root 7, root 8? Root 8. How to find root 8 value on the number line? Root 8. And the number line means 2 square plus 2 square. Sum of two numbers, sum of these squares is 2 numbers. 2 square plus 2 square is 4. 2 square plus 2 square is 4 plus 4 is 8. Then on the x-axis means on the number line 2 units whole square plus 2 units whole square you can take on the perpendicular line. Definitely you will get 4 plus 4, 8. 4 plus 4, 8. So this based on this only you have to choose how many units. So we have to choose on the number line, how many units we have to choose as a perpendicular line. So O, 2 units I'm taking here, 2 units, another 2 units I'm taking here. So join these two, apply Pythagoras theorem, OAB. So OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. So OB square equal to 2 square plus 2 square. OB square equal to 4 plus 4. OB equal to root 8. So again place the compass from O as the center, and then with the radius of OB, draw an arc which wherever the intersect the number line, that is marked as root 8. So what about root 9? To get root 9, definitely you need to start from root 8 onwards. Okay. To get root 10 also. To get root 10. To get root 10, then 3 square plus 1 square you can take. 3 square plus 1 square. That means 3 units on the number line, 1 unit on the perpendicular line. 1 unit for the perpendicular line to the number line. Then you will get root 10. So root 10 question is there in your textbook. Take it as a homework. That is root 10. Try as it is in this method. Definitely you will get the solution. Okay. Hope you understand. And this one. So number of irrational numbers in between two irrational numbers. Number of irrational numbers between two irrational numbers, that is there in your textbook. 2 and A and B are two positive rational numbers such that AB is not a perfect square. Then root AB is an irrational number lying between A and B. A and B are two positive rational numbers such that AB is not a perfect square. Positive irrational numbers, positive rational numbers such that A into B is not a then root AB lies between A and B. A and B. So A and B are positive rational numbers. Then how to find the another irrational number? Another irrational number which is lies between A and B. Suppose 3 and 4 is there. Find an irrational number between two rational numbers. Two rational numbers. So both are positive integers, and A and B is not a perfect square. A into B, that means 3 4s are 12 is not a perfect square. Then you can take 3 into 4, it lies between 3 and 4. That means 3 less than root 12 less than 4. 3 less than root 12 less than 4. Find another irrational number, another two irrational numbers between 2 and 3. So first one irrational number I am finding between 2 and 3. Root 6 is not a perfect square. That's why you can take 2 less than 2 into 3 less than root 3. 2 less than root 6 less than root 3. Sorry, not root 3, 3 only. So one more irrational number. So 2 less than these, in between these two I'm finding. Okay. One more irrational number. So 2 into root 6 less than 3. Like this you can find a different irrational number in between two rational numbers. Okay. Now this is the method to find the irrational numbers in between two rational numbers. Now successive magnification method, that is the last exercise of third exercise in your textbook. Successive magnification. Successive means one after the other. Magnification means we are magnifying glass, you know. That means in that magnifying glass, if you observe any things using magnifying glass, it look like very big, means it look like very big and clear. So suppose I am taking one of the example how to represent real numbers. That means rational numbers and irrational numbers on the number line. So rational numbers already representing rational numbers on the number line already we completed. That means irrational numbers. That means recurring and non-recurring. Recurring and non-recurring. Those are rational numbers. 3.46. 3.46. How to represent this one on the number line? By using successive magnification. See there. 3.46. 3.46. First step we have to write 3.46 lies between 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Immediately draw the number line 3 and 4 and divide this portion as 10 equal parts. Always 10 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9. There is no 3.10. That is 3.10 means is nothing but 4. Okay. We need to get 3.4. Where is 3.4? This one. Here it is 3.4. Okay. Again 3.46 lies between 3.4 and 3.5. 3.4 and 3.5. So 3.4 and 3.5 again you have to take in step 2. 3.46 lies between, you are magnifying here in these two places. If you are magnifying in between these portion, means 3.4 and 3.5 portion, so many digits are there, means so many numbers are there. So in between two rational numbers there are infinitely rational numbers are there, already we discussed it. Like that 3.46 lies between 3.4 and 3.5. Again draw the number line. So this is 3.4 and this is 3.5. Again this portion 3.4 and 3.5 portion divide into 10 such equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is 10th one. So 3.41, 3.42, 3.43, 3.44, 3.45, 3.46, 3.47, 3.48, 3.49, 3.50 next. 3.50 is nothing but 3.5. So we need to represent 3.46. Here it is 3.46. That means 3.4 and 3.5 we need to mark like this. We need to mark like this. So one more digit they are asking 3.467. One more, suppose in your question 3.467. 3.467 lies between 3 and 4. 3.467 lies between 3.4 and 3.5. Again 3.46, we did not get 3.467. We got only 3.46 and the next number is 3.47. Again magnifying here in this portion. If you magnifying in this portion, definitely you will get some of the digits are there in between 3.46 and 3.47. So 3.467 lies between 3.46 and 3.47. So similarly again draw the number line, so which is marked as 3.46 and here you can mark 3.47. This portion again you have to divide into 10 such equal parts. That means 3.46 to 3.47 portion, 10 such equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a 3.461, 3.462, 3.463, 3.464, 3.465, 3.466, 3.467, 3.468, 3.469 and 3.470. we no need to write 470, that is 3.47. So now 3.46, we need to find 3.467. 467 is on the number line, this one represented on the number line. By successive means one after the other, successive magnification we can find this one. So if they give recurring means up to 3 decimals they will ask, up to 4 decimals they will ask. In the same method you can apply, definitely you will get the solution. Okay, only 2 questions are there in your textbook. Only 2 questions are there in your textbook. One of the question is one more question I will explain, that is successive magnification. Yes, 4.26666 they are asking up to 4 decimal places. If it is pure recurring means terminating means no problem. If it is a pure recurring for this type of question, 4.226 up to, definitely they will ask how many decimal places, 2 decimals, 3 decimals. 2 decimal places means up to 2 decimal places means 4.26 only. 3 decimal places means 4.262. You need to find 4.262 in this method. 4 decimal places means 4.26226. So up to 4 decimal places means this question you have to choose. Up to 5 decimal places, that means 4.26262. This question you have to do in this method. Okay. So I think, hope you understand successive magnification method is very important method for your public exam also. That means SA1 exams. Last one is know about pi. Know about pi. I'll give the explanation, oral explanation. Better to write the oral explanation, that one. So pi, all of you know about pi. So pi is nothing but a ratio of circumference and diameter. Circumference and diameter. Already you know the circumference of the circle formula is pi d. So take subset as pi, then here it is multiplying, when it will come this side divide. Pi is nothing but ratio of circumference and diameter. Okay, Archimedes was the first to compute the value of pi. Archimedes was first to compute the value of pi, and Aryabhatta found pi value, that means 3.1416 up to 4 decimal places. Aryabhatta means Archimedes was first founder of the pi. After that, Aryabhatta found pi value 3.1416. Up to 4 decimal places he found. Who? Aryabhatta. Next, using high-speed computers and advanced logarithm pi has been computed to over 1.24 trillion decimal places. Using high-speed computers and advanced algorithm, pi has been computed to over 1.24 trillion places. Okay, better to write what I'm saying here. Write as a points. Okay, next point. 22/7 is an approximate value of pi. Some of the children are saying pi equal to 22/7. This is wrong. Pi is not equal to 22/7 always. Pi is not equal to 22/7, and 22/7 is rational number. Pi is irrational number. 22/7 is rational, pi is irrational. Rational is not equal to irrational. That's why pi is not equal to 22/7. So all of you know about pi day. That means pi equal to 3.1416 and so on. The different so many digits will come. Like this, 1.24 trillion places. First place, second place, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh place, eighth place. Like that, using high-speed computer, they found up to 1.24 trillion places. So pi value 3.1416. What about 3? This is the third month of the year, that is March. That same March month, 14th date. So March 14th is the pi day. March 14th is the pi day. Pi day is March 14th. March 14th of every year. So, and Albert Einstein, everyone known scientist, Albert Einstein was born on March 14th. Albert Einstein was also born on March 14th. Already they gave these all points in your textbook. Once again, revise those points. Hope you understand this third exercise and first exercise, second exercise question also. So in the next fourth exercise, Nageshwar sir will explain. So thank you one and all.